Yes Have Some podcast is brought to you by Carnivorous Creations, your one-stop shop for all of your Proton Pack building needs. If you're in the market for a Proton Pack, head to carnivorouscreations.com. That's carnivorous with a K. You're going to find aluminum motherboards, resin parts, fiberglass shells, and a whole lot more. Find them on Facebook at Carnivorous Creations or head straight to carnivorouscreations.com, remember carnivorous with a K, and get started on an authentic, screen-accurate Proton Pack.
Everything's under control. Situation normal.
I don't want to grow up. Do you want some?
Jurassic Park. Now playing at theaters.
Ecto goggles with Ecto Bomber, neutron blaster, and water zapper, each sold separately.
From the corner penthouse of Spook Central all the way to Star Killer Base, this is Yes Have Some podcast.
You like? Yes, have some. Yes, have some.
You know, they told me you people were conceited douchebags.
The only place in the multiverse where you can love the book, hate the movie, but still buy all the toys.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
I'm not looking for a friend. I'm looking for a Jedi Master.
What?
Please remember to hold on to your butts and get ready to get stressed. With your hosts, Craig Goldberg, Abigail Gardner, and Jacob Walsh.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 87 of Yes Have Some podcast. My name is Craig Goldberg. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we are here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am with my co-hosts for this evening and every evening, Abigail Gardner.
Co-host in life.
My co-host in life. And my other co-host in life, Jacob Walsh.
Hi.
All right.
Hey.
So, he must have had some sugar.
Yeah?
A little bit of sugar, yeah.
Did you have some sugar?
I'm out of coffee.
What's
You're
your
not out of
treat?
coffee.
No treats?
Jake,
No,
if you were...
no
Okay, so, fun story. Jake was with us over the weekend. We went to the Days of the Dead convention in Atlanta, Georgia. We had a really fun weekend. We talked all about Cloverfield on our last episode. Mm-hmm. And we talked about watching the Super Bowl. We hung out with our good friend Hal Clay. Mm-hmm. Great times. Jake heads back to Valdosta. He forgets his iPad.
Boy.
He forgot.
Oh, yeah.
His
I got
iPad.
all the way back home. It's a little over 3 hours
Yeah.
from your house. I
We
get
know.
home. I sit down to relax. Go to pull my iPad out of my bag. It's not there.
Yeah.
And it hits me that it's under your couch.
Dude, that's a total Craig move to do the old laptop under the couch.
Yep.
Under the
Yep.
bridge.
It's like, hey, no one will know. Oh, yeah, right under the bridge.
Right under the bridge. So yeah, I had just got home from day job. I know you people are surprised about that.
Yeah. Dude, day job.
The guy who says double fuck diamond double boner has a day job. Listen, I might not after that one. So yes, I got home. It was about 7 o'clock. So Jake, I get a call from Jake.
The more you say that, the more I want one, by the way.
A job? A double
No,
fuck
the double fuck diamond boner.
Yeah, well, you know. Yeah, if you run those diamonds under the crystal falls of Nova Scotia to get the, we won the Prodexo gold medal. God, I just went right into a Dan Aykroyd thing.
Just did it.
So Jake calls 7 o'clock and says, dude, guess what? And I go, oh, what? And he goes, I think I have to drive back to Atlanta to get my iPad. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Well, we'll see you when you get here. And I hung up the phone, and we lived happily ever after. No. That's not what happened, was it, Jake?
No.
No.
I was prepared. I checked and made sure I had no appointments for the following day, and I was prepared to just take the next day off work and just drive back to Atlanta because I need my iPad for work.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think most of our audience knows you're a tattoo artist, and you've got all of your I'm gonna do the condescending uncle who doesn't respect what you do. He keeps his little drawings on there.
My little doodles in there.
Yeah.
Doodles. That's the good one.
My buddy Peter I work with always does this thing where he makes, I don't know where he picked this up from, but he's like, I'll be talking about how, I talked to my dad on the phone, and then Peter will just go, well, Craig's just doing his Ghostbusters thing. We don't know what's going on down there.
That's like an actual quote
condescending
from my parents.
asshole families. So,
Yeah.
Jake, we offered to meet you halfway and we all took an impromptu road trip on Monday night.
Super fun.
It was good. I appreciate you guys meeting me halfway.
You know, it was good. I liked it.
Fine.
We all met up at the movie theater where we saw Jurassic World together, so it was like...
We did. We made a nostalgia trip out of it. And also...
And we went to the same gas station afterwards.
We did.
It was cool.
And I ate a candy bar.
Oh, wow. Good.
Yeah. And I
Get
also...
that. It's good to get that, 2-hour drive in to get a candy bar.
Yeah. Dude, you can justify eating so many snacks when you're on that road trip. You're like, no.
Yeah.
I need the energy.
It's good. Yeah.
I've just been up for so long.
I was wearing my Jurassic Park jacket, and this lady who worked at the gas station looked at it and went, "Oh, I was just listening to that song. That song is beautiful. They should play it for brides at weddings."
Ma'am, you're not wrong.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
I agree.
And then the guy at the next gas station, this is the running theme. We've been talking about it for a couple months. He looked at me, Jake, and he said, "Do you work there?"
Do you work exactly?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just start saying yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I say. Yeah.
I work at Jurassic Park. What section of the park?
I always just say every time someone's like, "Oh, well, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "Well, we're thinking about opening a park here."
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're scouting
locations.
We're scouting. We're tearing down your chevron, man.
Right. we're just digging.
So we had a little impromptu trip after Days of the Dead, and it was fun because that's what friends are for.
Yeah, you don't ever want to stop hanging out, so you just drive for a couple hours.
Just to see each other for like literally 35 seconds.
Yeah, all the way initially we're like, "Oh,
here's your
we'll
shit."
Get dinner. There's like, "No, here's your shit. Bye.
Here's your little drawing box.
Here's your little doodles, Jake, and your hot sauce." It was good.
I wanted to.
Did you already have a bunch of that hot sauce, Jake?
Yeah, I already.
I realized that later.
I got home and I was like, "Why are they giving me more of this hot sauce?"
Context.
We should give a shout out to the company. It was the Southern Fried Weekend guys from the Gaming Expo, the Southern Fried Gaming Expo. I think he's got his own hot sauce company. I have to go in the cupboard and get the bottle of hot sauce out to find out the name of it, but
it's the guy from the King of Kong, that Billy whatever.
Yeah.
It's his hot sauce.
Oh, in the words of Jacob Walsh, cool.
Yeah, it's just the Southern Fried Gaming Expo commemorative sauce.
It's commemorative.
By Billy Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell, that's his
name. I had to get past a cat in the cupboard to get this.
Love limited edition sauce. Before we go on any further, I did want to give a shout out to our good friend, author, and all-around good dude, Andrew Schaefer. Andrew's been on our show before. He's a good friend of ours. He wrote Ghosts from Our Past, which was the companion piece to Ghostbusters Answer the Call. And he has a new book out. It's called Ain't Got Time to Bleed, Medical Reports on Hollywood's Greatest Action Heroes. And he was nice enough to send us all copies of his book, signed with inscriptions.
Yeah,
I love
he
this
does little
inscription.
doodles.
He said, "Craig and Abby, when you die, your fuck budget returns to zero." And I thought that was really romantic.
Yeah, I thought
it
that
is.
Was,
yeah,
it
it
was
means
encouraging.
A lot. It's a metaphor for life, you know.
Sweet.
But this book is available on Amazon, and it's really cool. So basically, it goes through all of these people who have been in movies: Indiana Jones,
action movies,
Tony Stark. I'm kind of flipping through. Johnny Utah's in here, and Sarah Connor and Rambo, and it gives their actual medical reports. So they go through this entire movie, and this is actually all of the injuries they sustained, an incident report, additional observations, their prognosis, and also it's very well illustrated. That's a new word.
Illustrated,
It's illustrated. So illustrated by Stephen Leftcourt. Well, I don't know him. I don't have to give him a plug. I give Andrew Schaefer a plug. 2 plugs for Mr. Schaefer.
Yeah, all the plugs.
So thank you. It's available now.
It's very funny.
Fun read. Pick it up.
Pick it up, y'all.
It's one of those conversation pieces. People come over and go, "What's that?" And you go, "It's a book."
What's that?
What's reading?
That's what I say. A book? Is that like a DVD? Cool. So thank you, Andrew, for that. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And check out Ain't Got Time to Bleed. And order yourself a copy. And maybe we can get a few more copies to do a couple giveaways. No promising.
No promises.
You guys want to talk about Days of the Dead?
Let's talk about something else, yeah.
I'm tired. Tell the fans about Days of the Dead.
Who, me?
Yeah, tell them what it is.
Tell the people about Days of the Dead.
Cool. So Days of the Dead is this. It's a horror convention that goes on in Atlanta every year. I'm not sure how many years they've been doing it. I feel like we've probably been going since they started, three or four years.
Yeah.
Huh?
3 or 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And it's funny because it's a pretty small convention. But this year they had a pretty great guest list this year.
Yeah.
Matthew Lillard, Ray Wise, I'd met him from Twin Peaks. And we mentioned Brandon Crain and Marlon Taylor, the 2 cast members from It, the original It 1990 miniseries. They played Ben and Mike as children. Mm-hmm. They haven't really done a lot of acting since then. And we got the chance to sit down with them and talk about their experience making It. This is their first convention they've ever done. And what a cool opportunity it was for us because these are, we love It. We talk about it all the time. Jake, you have a deep connection with this movie. So do you, Abigail, as giant Stephen King fans. And I don't know, Abby, what was it like for you to sit down with them?
It was a thrill to be able to do that. Like, it was really cool, Jake, that you were able to set that up through your friend John, who's putting out that documentary, which I'm excited to see that documentary. And it was exciting to talk to them about the process of making it and about the process of filming the movie or the miniseries back in 1990. And I think that, it was just special. Like, when you're able to, like, I saw that the miniseries for the first time last year after reading the book and before the new movie came out. And I remember, like, it's a little bit cheesy, but it's also, like, extremely endearing and charming, and there are moments that feel more evocative of the book than I think the new movie did. So it was just exciting to actually sit down with, like, 2 characters from it, like, and have, like, tangible, real conversation, and they were both super nice, and it was just a really special thing, like, to have gone to this convention. This was our 3rd year, and to be able to, like, sit down and have real conversation with, like, people that are, like, a part of something that we love so much was really, really cool. And like I said, they were both really accommodating and passionate, cool dudes, and I liked it. It was a really good conversation, so I'm excited for everyone to listen to it.
Jake?
Yo, it was fun. It was good. No, first of all, I do want to say thank you to, my friends, Becky and John, because, Becky introduced me to John, and John he's been really great. And, he worked on the Pet Cemetery documentary that came out, Unearthed and Untold, which I'm pretty sure is on Amazon. Amazon Instant or whatever. But, he's working on the Pennywise documentary that's coming out, and it was through him I was able to, it was funny. He basically was like, yeah, I'll just give you their phone numbers. And I'm sitting here like, I've been a fan of It forever, I remember we've talked about it before. I remember when I was young and my mom owned the book, and, so it has been something that's just always been stuck in my brain. And then all of a sudden John's like, yeah, here's Ben and Mike's phone number. Yeah. He's like, they're expecting you.
It's better to call Mike than get a call from him, I'll tell you that.
Exactly, right?
Dude, I kept wanting to make that joke, right?
So it was just really cool. And both of these guys were super nice to talk to. And we mentioned that it was their first convention, and they just it's cool to see someone really enjoy it. They really had fun, and they had no, like, it was cool hearing how they basically had no idea that this kind of thing existed, that conventions like this existed, and they're going to keep doing it. And man, they're going to be surprised, man, because this is a small convention. Right. They're going to end up, going to a, Spooky Empire or something like that, or something bigger. And it's going to be a little overwhelming, I think. But, it was just really fun, to get to talk to these dudes about one of these movies that you've literally been watching your entire life. Right. It's up there with, like, how it is when we get to do the Ghostbuster stuff. It was a good time, man. And not just them, but we also, got to talk with Alex Vincent, which, that's another movie series that we have spent a lot of time talking about.
Dude, I just watched like every. We've
devoted so much time to talking about Child's Play, and that's another thing that, like, I have literally been watching Child's Play movies since I was like, I don't know, 8, you know? So it's really cool to get to sit down and just like hang out with these guys and talk to them and just like have candid conversations with them. It was very cool.
Yeah. We talked to Brandon and Marlon, then we talked to Alex Vincent, covered some Child's Play, got updates on what he's got going on, thoughts on the new movie, just his experience making those films and what it's like to be part of an ongoing franchise for, 30 years now.
Right.
So those will be coming up here in just a few minutes. A couple other highlights of Days of the Dead were I was assaulted by Kane Hodder.
That was my most stressful moment.
It was amazing.
Of the weekend.
I guess I should tell that story.
Yeah, you should.
Tell the story.
So Kane Hodder, who played Jason in Friday the 13th, I think 6, 7, and 8. One of the most well-known Jasons from the series. He does a lot of conventions. He's an affable guy, a big guy, a menacing dude. I would say that. But you got to be to play Jason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're setting up for the Alex Vincent interview, and I'm standing there, and Abby's off to my left, not in my eyesight, but Jake's right in front of me. And Jake kind of looks at me and gives me this look. And I thought it was just the normal, like, hey, Jason Voorhees isn't standing right behind you look. But it wasn't. I slowly turn around, and my head is with this man's, navel, basically. Belly button, to the layman.
Okay.
Air Force, not naval. And Kane Hodder is directly behind me. He then gets in my fucking face and says something along the lines of, "You never saw it coming," and like basically insinuating that he can murder me if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He's a sidler. He sidles.
Did he push you?
He did push me. He then
pretty hard.
He shoved me. I didn't understand why. I'm just an innocent boy trying to interview.
Can I tell you why? I thought that he was Alex Vincent's bodyguard, and that we were getting in trouble for being too close or something. And I was like, "Whoa!" I should probably.
I think Alex Vincent's handwritten prices on the paper should tell you he does not have a bodyguard.
I think I
had my back to him also, so I didn't.
I think what actually happened was we were walking in that direction, and he was just walking behind us, walking back to his table.
Right.
And he probably didn't think that we were just going to stop where we were.
Right.
And that caused him to just be right behind you.
Right.
And then he did a thing.
And
then he did a magic trick.
Well,
he did. First of all, his pushing though, like that's
what he does.
He didn't push you. He was kind of playing around. He didn't push you in a like. I just want to let people know Kane Hodder didn't just assault somebody.
No,
it was assaulted.
That's what
it was like a.
Well,
it was
actually,
just like a fun.
You guys didn't see it. At one point, he stuffed me in a sleeping bag and slammed me against a tree. You guys missed that part. Also, just good fun.
So
just good fun.
Does somebody want to? Abby, did you want to explain this magic trick he showed us?
Well, yeah, like he took a knife out of
like a real knife.
Like a real knife. He had me feel it.
That was on. It was on Alex Vincent's table.
Yeah, it was on his table, and I touched the edge of the knife and I like felt it. It's very sharp. Then he took the knife up to like his under eye and just like pressed the tip in. Like super duper hard.
Poked his eye out.
Yeah, like poked his made his eye bulge out.
I tried to film it and he yelled at me again.
And then
here's my favorite part of the story. My favorite part is that as soon as he picked up the knife, Alex Vincent was like, "I really hate when you do this."
Yeah.
he was like, I hate when you do this. And then when he did it, he was like, "Hey, Alex." And Alex like kind of looked up and was just like, "Oh, I hate it." Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm picturing like, I kind of want to watch
a movie
TV
with the two
show
of them, begrudgingly.
It's just the two of them. Kane Hodder's always happy and
odd couple.
Excited. Yes. Yeah, it's an odd couple situation with Alex Vincent and Kane Hodder.
I kind of like that.
I like that.
Yeah, it could be, and then the Chucky doll could be there. Like, one of these three is a real troublemaker, and it's not who you think it is.
They're raising the Chucky doll together.
One thing that's
yes.
Alex now has a screen-used Chucky doll that he takes with him to the convention.
It's animatronic.
And it's from, I guess, the newest one from
It's from Cult, yeah.
Cult of Chucky. And we got a little picture with it. Got some candid photos thanks to our friend Hal Clay.
Yeah.
And overall, it was a really good time. Like I said, I met Ray Wise, got his autograph, and I got a picture with him.
Very cool.
Abby?
I did not get yelled at.
You did not get yelled at by Linda Blair. Which is, this is the 1 year anniversary of Blair.
The Blair Scare.
Yeah, the Blair Scare.
The Blair Scare.
We keep calling it different things.
So yeah, if anybody wants to go back into our archives, go to, I'll look up the exact episode. Abby, why don't you talk about your Jeremy Ray Taylor story real quick?
Jay Ray.
Jay Ray.
Yeah, I met Jeremy Ray Taylor officially at the convention, which was very cool.
He is
very cool. He's a cool guy. His favorite color is purple.
I was asking who he was.
Oh, who is he? Oh, he played Ben Hanscom in the most recent movie, It. Andy Muschietti's It. So he is he's a super sweet little guy. And when I went to the convention, I didn't really know like for a fact who I was going to be getting photo ops or autographs and etc. from. But when I was walking through, Craig, I think it was you who spotted a New Kids on the Block VHS tape from like I guess a tour video for Hangin' Tough, and it's awesome because that's like a tie-in from the movie because he's a huge New Kids on the Block fan and or his character is. So I thought that was perfect. So I bought the VHS for like $2 and then went in and there was like no line because this wasn't spooky, thank goodness. And I got my autograph on the VHS tape. And we had some issue with the pen, like the paint pen. Originally, like the silver didn't, or the gold didn't work. One of them didn't work. And we ended up like,
but you got it.
We got it going. But as he was signing it, he asked me what the tape was. Like he was like, initially I was like, oh, this is like New Kids on the Block. They're a band. I was like, well, you should know because
they're
like,
a band.
Movie. But he was like, no, what is this? Like the VHS tape itself because he didn't know. And I was like, oh, you put it in like a TV.
What is this relic of a past life that you hold in your hand?
Yeah, so I thought that was funny. Which is now my like second weird interaction with a cast member from that movie because like Jaden Lieberher was like he was writing that. I've told this story before.
Yeah.
He was like misspelling or whatever.
Yeah, your interaction with Sophia Lillis wasn't that great.
It was not that great either. So yeah,
you're just trying to have an awkward moment with every member of the.
It's so awkward.
Yeah. That's cool.
So sweet. But yeah, it was. I also got a photo with him, which was great, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah. So smooth.
For anybody who wants to hear the
no
Linda
stress.
Blair story, if you go back in our archives on iTunes, it's episode 45 from 1 year ago, and it's at the 30-minute mark where where Jake gives all the details on his wonderful interaction with Linda Blair and how she refused to sign his statue and how it was really, really stressful for everybody
It's very
involved.
traumatizing.
Yeah, it was great.
Cool.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times. So yeah, Days of the Dead, a lot of fun. Kane Hodder, Alex Vincent, all the IT cast members. Really a great time. And yeah, I don't know. Should we get to these interviews?
No, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So what you're about to hear, first up will be our conversation with Brandon Crain and Marlon Taylor from IT. And immediately following that will be Alex Vincent talking about his time making Child's Play. We had a great time at this convention, and we hope you guys enjoy the interviews.
Thank you.
Sorry,
It's all good. Partied real hard last night.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. That's a good thing.
And then I realized this morning that at 41, sometimes you gotta pull it back.
Pull the plug. Don't pull the plug.
Don't feel the same way as it did 20 years ago.
Right. Cool.
Word.
Well, we're here at Days of the Dead, Atlanta, with Marlon Taylor and Brandon Crain.
Hey there.
How's it going? How we doing? So, Mike and Ben, respectively, from IT, the miniseries. What year is this? 1990?
1990.
It's been 28 years. How are you guys feeling?
Hey, you're the only ones counting.
Really?
For real.
You know, I'm feeling good, man. I'm enjoying this resurgence. I'm enjoying this new ride that we're getting to go on. It's a great roller coaster.
Cool. I agree. I'm really thankful that the new films brought so much interest to our film.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, so it has a cult following, and it always has. But what has the last year been like for you guys? I mean, you're doing conventions now. Were you doing that before, or is this kind of new territory?
No, this is actually Marlon and I. This is our first convention appearance ever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. We didn't know there was such a thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it's a thing.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing.
How have the fans been?
They've been great. They've been great. It's been awesome just hearing what people have to say about how the original affected them, and it's just awesome hearing what folks have to say about it. You take it all in, you get to meet folks, man, and just the look on their faces. And I think my favorite one is just hearing people who just don't like clowns now.
Yeah.
Right.
Every time I hear somebody tell me that, I'm like, yes, we
John
did it.
But he's right. I mean, the stories that we're getting from people that have been fans from the beginning, and people who have been lifelong fans who weren't even born when it came out. Mm-hmm. That somewhere along the lines they were exposed to it, and it resonated with them. And it's awesome to get the stories from them. It's heartwarming. It makes you feel like you're really a part of something that people could connect with.
Right.
It's great.
That's interesting too, because people have had this connection to you guys in the film for almost 30 years, and you're just now being introduced to it. I'm sure you've interacted with people over the years, but this is like a whole new territory with the new movie out, and now you've got new action figures coming out, and the movie's getting re-released, and there's a documentary coming out about the original. Did you guys participate?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did that come about?
It's interesting. I think that was actually kind of the beginning. That documentary is what kind of also has us where we are now with this. John was kind of the first person to reach out to us about even doing the Pennywise documentary. Reached out to me and reached out to Brandon. And that was in the process for probably maybe early like 2016 or something.
Okay. Yeah, it had been in the works. I think they've been planning it, and trying to get all their ducks in a row.
Right.
And we get stuff on Facebook. Hey, I got this project for you, or hey, I'd like to do something, and it never really materializes. And then so I'm starting to get these emails and text messages from John, and it was real. I mean, it was a thing. He had it all worked out. And
it's nice when it comes together and you realize this is an actual project, not just some crazy message.
No, this is
some of those too.
Oh yeah,
I imagine.
This is a thing.
It's a real legitimate thing. So we're excited to see it.
What are your guys' memories like? So when you're watching the film, you hear a lot of actors talk about when they see a movie that they did 25, 30 years ago, it takes them right back to that day. Like they remember, where they were, what happened that day. Is it that etched in your brains, or is it kind of like a distant, when you see a photo when you're a kid, you're like, I remember that this happened, but not necessarily the build-up or the aftermath?
No, I think everything through the movie kind of has something correlated and some type of nostalgic value for it. I mean, for me, the biggest thing I remember is just how much fun we had working together, and just kind of doing stuff off the set as well, because, we hung out a lot off the set. When I do watch the film, it does bring back certain parts of me. Like we were talking about yesterday with like the scene where I'm running from the bullies and stuff. And I was like, and then this happened. I was like, and then this happened.
There were like 3 different takes. They wanted Marlon to, be more dramatic with his fall. And so he runs through the ringer doing all these stunt falls and takes and all that stuff. And then come to find we're watching the premiere and he used the original take.
Yeah.
The easy, slow run down the hill.
And like this one, there's a photo of us before Mike, BM. I remember this particular scene. We were talking about it because the actor who was playing Officer Nell at the time wasn't that happy working with us. And he made that very, very known. And I remember to the day, I remember the discussion.
That's interesting.
About how to keep cool. And,
what was he not happy about? Just working with kids?
I think in general. We were kids.
We were rambunctious.
We were, I'm sure. And I think I've heard Tommy Lee Wallace say it, that we were a handful sometimes to work with.
That's fine.
Or
But we're
he's just like a
kids.
method actor, and he's like trying to be like a mean cop.
Right. It's like,
even while he's there.
It's like, I get it. It's cool, you know, enjoy your day.
Yeah.
The rest of us have to stay.
right.
We were watching that scene. We were watching the movie last night. Well, we do that every Saturday. But we were known like. Somebody made a comment like, this cop is really serious in this scene.
Yeah.
Maybe it came off.
Oh, for real. I mean, he belongs in a Victorian era,
Right.
drama.
What about working with Tim Curry? Did he kind of? Can you kind of hear stories over the years? Maybe he kind of shied away from you guys a little bit. To was that true? Did I make that up?
Yeah.
Not
just
thinking
made that
up. Okay.
You're making it up as you go along.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's just life.
I wouldn't say he really shied away from us. I just think they had an idea of how they wanted to film stuff. I mean, if you really look at the film, there's not really a whole lot of scenes where we're really with Tim Curry, like fully on Tim Curry. A lot of times you'll see a hand or you'll see another part of him. And a lot of times those were actual other people versus Tim.
Okay.
So that scene right there, that sewer scene, is actually the first time we actually worked with Tim. That's not the actual one because that's CGI, but the one where we connect hands and the complete circle and he comes in and he picks Stan up and takes Stan out and all that. That's the first time we actually really got to work.
Yeah, and even the conversation that I had with him down at the lake, you know, I'm walking down to set to do my bit, and Tim Curry was walking the other way. And that was the first time we got to really meet.
The first time you even seen him.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Passerbys in the
and I'm like, hey, how's it going? He's like, here I am. And he walked off, you know.
Yeah.
And I did my bit, and that was it. But there was, you know, with Marlon, when we were in the center of the sewer, that was really the first time we had any interaction. And it's not like we were sequestered. You know, like Marlon said, it's just logistics.
Yep. Was there any? Were you guys familiar with the book at all? I mean, the book was really popular, and this kind of took it to another level.
It did.
Were you familiar? Had you read it before?
After getting the part, I started reading. Okay. Now, I didn't make it all the way through.
It's long. I started it 10 years ago.
It's a big book.
On chapter.
And then I kind of started reading it again a couple of weeks ago, and in the first couple of pages, I was like, wow, this is some strong language in this book.
Oh, yeah. It's got some stuff
like,
in it.
wow, okay. And I was like, we did this like in 89.
Yeah.
You know, so.
My neighbor turned me onto it maybe 6 months before the process started to cast this. So when, you know, I heard it was happening, I was like, great, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know, this would be great. This is like serendipity. There has to be some meaning, you know, some cosmic meaning behind this, right?
Yeah.
But then, you know, the process was so protracted, and it took so long to get the call saying he got the part. I just thought I didn't get it. That sucked because I really liked it. It would have been fun to do.
Yeah.
But then you did it.
But we did it.
But then we did it.
That phone call was a blessing. It was good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a good phone call.
You always hear about that when you finally get that call where you get the part. That's a good one.
It's a good call.
That's a good call.
It's a good call.
So, are there more conventions in the future? Have you guys enjoyed this weekend?
That is the hope, that there are more in the future. We have enjoyed this weekend. Well, I won't speak for Brandon.
No,
I know
you
I've
can.
enjoyed.
No, I've had a great
I can
time.
tell he's had a great time.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be going to Birmingham, to the Birmingham UK Horror Convention in about 2 weeks or so.
Yeah. I think you guys will find, not that I can speak from experience, but the international fan bases for these types of movies, they're insane. Like,
That's
That's what we've heard.
I was this morning before we came downstairs. I was actually talking with Alex Vincent about that because he'd done a couple of international shows, and he said it's amazing.
Yeah.
The fan base out there is amazing. I mean, it helped him because one of his movies was banned, I believe. That only catapults the interest,
Yeah,
you know,
Contraband. That's
Wonder which one.
higher.
Child's Play.
I think it was 3.
Child's Play 3.
Charles,
But but still, yeah. I mean, it was good to hear, and I'm excited for that opportunity.
Yeah.
The you know, on social media when we were announced, the fans were stoked. I mean,
we were.
We're like we're big Stephen King fans, you know. So like something like this is a movie and a book that I think we've all followed for a long time. So
that's great.
And I think a lot of people have. So when guests get added, especially when it's something like that,
something that's personal that you care about like this,
it's exciting.
Well, because a lot of the conventions you see, you know, a lot of the same faces roll through, and it's great. Like, it's great to go interact. But when it's somebody new from something that you've loved for a long time, like that, it kind of, and like I said earlier, you guys are living your lives, and you know, I'm sure you live in different parts of the country, and then you got all these people that are just waiting to say hi and tell you that.
It's been really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen each other since the screening. You know.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and I've run into Ben a few times in life, but that's it. I mean, we all sort of went our separate ways.
Right. And you know, a lot of it was summits, and some of them. Let's see. So Stan lived in Canada at the time.
Right.
And so did.
And Adam was in Texas
at the time. Right. The only people from LA were Seth,
me,
Brandon, Jonathan, and me right here. And the shadow in the back. Shadow in the back.
Oh man, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna put some
Photoshop that.
We're gonna slap him in there.
Let's do it.
Yeah, well, it's what we were watching, and like you come in at right about the hour mark, you forget it's 3.5 hours or whatever. So there's a lot of movie there.
Right.
Well, before we wrap up, the new movie came out. I'm sure you guys saw it. Have you got a chance to meet your modern counterparts?
Yeah.
We have.
'Cause they're both here.
We did.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we reached out to our youngers.
Yeah.
The day. I mean, I know I reached out to Jeremy when it was news, when the cast was announced, and it was a picture of them getting together, and I just wanted to offer my support, whatever it was worth. You know, not to rekindle some whatever, or hey, remember me.
Right.
But it really just it was such a personal thing for me. I wanted him to know that I was pulling for him.
That's awesome.
And I was. So it was really great after 2 years now, just about, to be able to connect and chat.
Yeah, they're sweet kids. It's funny. We went down. 4 of the 6 were doing Spooky Empire down in Orlando, and we all went specifically because we want to meet these kids because we love the movie and they did such a good job. And it was like an NSYNC concert. It was circa 1999.
It was insane.
I saw a picture on Jeremy's Instagram.
Yeah.
Where he's standing on a stage and he's taking a shot. And there's like...
It's like TRL. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
What is going on?
And he's like, I love my fans. And I said, I would too.
You're thinking like back to 1990, like I went home after I filmed it. Like these guys are thousands of people. It was funny. We were standing there.
I just went home.
Yeah.
All I got was the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
We're standing to get in line for like the photo op, and it's the 3 of us, and we're all in our early 30s, and we're surrounded by 13 and 14-year-old girls that are like screaming and crying, and we're just like, should we be here? Is this okay?
Right. This doesn't feel right.
We're just like, we like to read books.
Yeah, I know. Like Stephen King.
This wasn't a thing in our day.
Yeah. It's weird.
Well, listen, guys, we really appreciate your time.
No problem.
Hopefully, we'll catch up again.
Thank you for
down the
having
road.
us.
Yeah.
And when the
Get the whole
documentary comes out,
reunion.
that'll probably be another. It'll be a big deal. People are gonna really care about it.
I think it will be. I'm excited. There was a thing on Harper's, right? It was one of the most anticipated documentaries of this year, and that's amazing.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
People are just fascinated with the behind-the-scenes stuff, and like I said, when you love something and you get to connect with it on a more personal level, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, cool. Well, thank you guys so much, and we'll catch up soon.
Thank you.
Our
Thank
pleasure.
you for having us, guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
What are you recording this into?
It's just GarageBand. Yeah. Very technical stuff over there.
Yeah, GarageBand.
Yeah.
As it gets.
It's as good as it gets. It costs free. Hey everybody, we're here at Days of the Dead Atlanta 2018. We are with Alex Vincent of the Child's Play franchise, because it is a franchise now. It has been for a long time, but it's still going. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Yeah?
What's bringing you back to Atlanta this weekend? You've done Days of the Dead before.
I did. I think I did the first Days of the Dead in Peachtree.
They used to do it in Peachtree City.
I think I did that one, and then I did it 2 years ago here, and then I'm back now.
Cool. How's it been so far this weekend?
Good. It was real great. Yeah, everyone's real nice, and I've heard a lot of compliments about the new film, and that's nice to hear. I know, 50-50 people love it and hate it, but the people who hate it haven't said anything about it.
That's good.
They're quiet.
Yeah.
What's that like after, Chucky, the Child's Play franchise has been going so long, and it's like the only franchise that's kind of still in continuity.
Right.
Everybody else is like rebooted and stuff.
Yeah.
And, what's that like getting to come back and, be back in there?
I was thrilled to do it, first of all. I don't act often. I stopped auditioning when I was a kid. I'm not really an actor, so there was a lot of pressure for me. It's an important role, but it was fun. It was super fun. I'm very close friends with a lot of the people involved, obviously, because I've known them for 30 years.
Right.
So to work with them again is very exciting and fun. And it was freezing cold, too, because we made it in Winnipeg in the middle of the winter.
Yeah.
That is really cool that you get the opportunity to come back. It's not something a lot of people really get to do, especially since you were a child when you first did it. Do you have memories of the original? Or
I do.
Is it, when you see it, does it take you back, or is it kind of...
Yeah, I have memories of things that were on set, and I have memories of things that were off set. The whole experience left memories. I don't remember anything else about being 6, but I remember making the movie. Yeah.
Right. It's kind of how I am. I remember Disney World. That was the best thing that happened to me when I was 6.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming one of the highlights of your year was being in this giant horror movie that is beloved.
Yeah. It wasn't at the time though. We didn't know what it was going to be. Yeah.
The thing that's cool to me is when I go back and watch Child's Play, it's definitely a horror movie, but it plays off like a really good 80s action film too. It has that vibe to me. I don't know. I just wanted to say that.
Get it out there.
Tom Holland's probably to thank for that. It definitely had a lot of suspense. Which for me is my favorite part about horror films in general. I'm not the biggest horror fan, admittedly, despite the fact that I've done horror conventions for 15 years and I've met everybody in every horror film ever. I haven't seen most of their movies though, but gore doesn't really do it for me. But suspense does.
Psychological. I feel you.
So, Kane Hodder's acting up
fun over here at Days of the Dead.
I know. Right before we started recording, Kane Hodder, I don't know what he was doing, but he shoved me.
He impaled himself with a knife. It was pretty good.
Nobody... Well, that looks... Cool. They're having about half as much fun as we are.
The real fun's over here.
So, are there more films in the cards in the Child's Play franchise?
I have no idea.
Yeah?
We're not at that stage. As with anything, a lot of money needs to be put into making a new film, so they have to decide what they want to do, if they want to, and how and where and why, and all those things have to be answered. Maybe it'll be, if the pattern continues, it'll be in 4 years, but I don't know for sure if there will even be another one. The way the last one ended, it's the biggest cliffhanger that we ever did, ending one of those films. So it's the most potential for more exciting stuff to happen. But I also see it as it could be an ending point also. I mean, Chucky wins, and that's the end of it.
That's a cool way to let it go.
Yeah, it was a good way to go out.
But as for my character, I don't like his fate being unknown, trapped in a mental institution. I hope he gets to do something else.
Likes that.
What's cool about the Child's Play movies is that, obviously, at the end of the 90s, Bride of Chucky, it kind of went a little bit more satire, because that was kind of a product of the time.
Yeah.
But it's come back, and it's gotten a little bit more serious, and, the tone of the last 2 films has definitely been, I don't know, not fucking around. It's a pretty, kind of heavy subject matter.
Yeah.
Even, for a horror movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Fiona's such a great actress too, so she brings a Dora type of intensity too.
I know, I like her a lot.
Now there was the after credits scene in the new one where Kyle comes back.
Right.
Now,
love Kyle.
I'm trying to think. We were just talking to the
Love
guys.
Christine.
Yeah. We were talking to the guys from It, 1990. They haven't seen each other since they wrapped filming, basically.
Yeah.
Do you interact with anybody from the original cast or from the first two movies, or is it kind of like few and far between?
Christine and I are really good friends. We talk all the time. For one, every week we talk about something. We talk often. We both have similar senses of humor and political opinions and thoughts. And then Don is very close. I talk to Don frequently. Brad I see a couple times a year at conventions and things like that. Fiona is a friend. Catherine Hicks, I wish her a happy birthday every year for the past 30 years.
Very cool.
Yeah. I went out and many years ago got to go to the set of Seventh Heaven and meet everybody with her. Yeah.
Okay.
Except Jessica Biel wasn't there that day.
That's a total bummer. That's the whole reason to go.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Exactly.
Yeah? Okay. Gotta go back.
That'll be a different episode.
Yeah.
Well, tracking down Jessica Biel.
I wouldn't mind that episode.
Wait, she's married to Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Cool facts, huh?
That's fun. Yeah. Way to bring it all around.
Cool. Well, listen, we really
That's
appreciate.
still happening.
Isn't that weird? You'd think that would not be a thing still.
Yeah.
Tell us about your Chucky here. Fans this weekend had the opportunity to take a picture with a screen used.
Yeah,
good guy.
I finally got a good guy from Cult of Chucky. I've wanted one for 30 years, obviously.
Did you just take it?
No, I
Somebody mail it to you?
I asked very persistently, but yeah, he's awesome. He's fun to have.
Yeah,
the convention's fun. I live in Florida, so able to just drive up here. It's a nice break from my recording studio and get out of the studio and out of the darkness a little bit and come meet people.
Yeah.
I was laughing.
Nice.
The one thing I always love in the Child's Play movies is whenever Chucky shows up, it's like that brown wrapping paper around the box, like the only packaging possible. Like if that ever shows up at my house with the brown wrap, like
we just don't open it.
No, I'm gonna open it. It's gonna be fine. Okay, you drove up here. I was going to ask if you're taking him through a TSA. If anybody.
Yeah, I am not. I will have to do a convention with Chucky that I have to fly at some point, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
that'll be.
But no, I brought two of them with me, and I just buckled them in the back seat of my car.
Good. I was going to ask you buckled.
That'll get you out of some tickets.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Those Florida cops, they're kind of intense.
Yeah.
We go down to like the Orlando, Tampa, Clearwater area fairly regularly.
That's where my recording studio is in Clearwater.
Okay.
Right on. Yeah.
Jake's mom's there.
Yes, maybe you know.
You might know.
Yes, you know Jake's mom. Well, cool. Well, we really appreciate you taking a few minutes. And I got to ask, I've been wanting to ask you this for a long time. When you're flipping the channels and Child's Play 3 is on, are you just like, fuck that?
I mean, if I'm flipping the channels and Child's Play anything is on, I'm still flipping the channel.
Okay, you're not. Okay, so I'm implying that if like Child's Play 2's on, you're like inviting family over.
Yeah,
and you're like,
that's
okay.
not happening.
Okay. Getting posted. Okay.
I love the movies, but I don't watch them anymore.
Okay, cool. Same with my Disney movies. Cool. Retired those.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate it. Have a good rest of the weekend,
thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks. You got it.
Okay. Well, why?
You could do like a freestyle rap at any point.
It's
too.
ringing.
Yeah, you got to do a rap.
What if they answer? What if it's not? What if this is Troy's house?
I
And
hope
then end
so.
it with a Jar Jar Binks impression.
Ooh.
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
All right. So Dan Aykroyd, Jar Jar Binks.
And rap.
It's not really. If they hear the podcast before they hear the voicemail, it's going to give away the humor.
So Jake and I can't talk.
You guys can say whatever you want. Hold on.
Greetings, Ghosthead, and thanks for calling the Ghostbusters Interdimensional
That's
Crossword
Troy.
I'm so
That's
excited.
Troy's voice.
Thanks
I know
for calling
him.
us with your comments and thoughts. Please note that they may be used as a recording on
good.
an upcoming podcast.
Okay, here we go.
Leave us your thoughts after the tone along with your name, and if you'd like to be identified with where you're from, and you might be featured on an upcoming episode. Thanks again for calling.
I hope we don't get in trouble.
Hi. I'm looking for Troy Benjamin. Hold on. Let me start that again. Ignore the first part, Troy. Hi.
looking for the Ghostbusters office, looking for a couple cadets. My name is Mr. Dan Aykroyd, and I'm here to pitch to you the brand new movie in the Ghostbusters. Well, they're doing some really nice stuff out there at Culver City, but boy, do we got something good for you guys now, okay? That's based on a lot of the research down in Columbia University, and we're going to ramp this thing up. As far as I know, Murray, he hasn't read the script. You gotta read it, but boy, do these girls really knock it out of the park. Oh, boy. I'll tell you what, we got Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, really doing some really good stuff out there from SNL. And, Lorne Michaels has a great eye for these type of girls. So they're doing some really awesome. The third act of this movie, I tell you what, this, the manifestation of this Rowan, this bad guy, is really, really bad stuff. And anyways, so I'm out here in Nova Scotia, and we got the Crystal Head vodka flowing, and boy, do we got something planned for you guys. Because Murray hasn't read the script yet. You got to read the script, and I think Bill's comfortable with where he is. He did the Ghostbusters, and that's Bill's decision. But we got something really special planned for you guys. We're gonna ramp up production this spring, and that's all. That's all I got to say. Blues Brothers.
Hey, that was a pretty good Pete Mosen you just did.
Yeah, I got it.
Is that Peter Mosen?
I got him.
That was all really good. Yeah,
you got him with that's what I like to call the Dan Aykroyd from 2 years ago prank.
Yeah, they're gonna be so tricked.
Time traveling.
Yeah. Oh God.
Are we still on the line with them, by the way?
No, I hung up. Should we call back?
Yeah, I wanted to do the Jar Jar. Yeah.
I didn't do the Jar. Oh God.
Oh God.
All right. Well, we'll call back. We'll do one more.
We'll apologize.
They're gonna kill us. While I'm calling here, Abby, why don't you plug who you were gonna plug earlier?
Oh, Little Press on the Prairie is a pin company. We met the girl who runs it, whose name I think is Kelsey. I should probably look at the...
She's from Nashville.
Yeah, I can go... God, the card is like... I have my headphones
guys,
on.
2 years.
If they're going to slumber party, like, I gotta get the popcorn.
We're actually calling again.
Yeah.
This is episode...
Kelsey Taylor. Little Press on
No, So, guys, what do we decide on? Jar Jar or Dan Aykroyd again?
I want Jar Jar.
Whatever.
Just do whatever it is just to make it good.
Okay. Here we go. Hey, guys, I almost completely forgot. I had a friend here. He's going to audition for, another Ghostbusters movie. They're doing some really good stuff down there. And we're about to ramp this thing up in the spring. And here he is. Are you here, buddy? Yes, sir. Misa here wants to make a movie about a ghost. Yeah. Now, have you done anything in the past? Yes, sir. Misa was firsthand to Padme. Okay. Anything else, guys? Misa think Paul Feig did a great job. That's a really bad. They're gonna think we're drunk. I'm hanging up.
We just have absolutely nothing better to do on our show than to call another show.
So